Over the past several weeks, there's been a lot of discussions of a potential nuclear war between Russia and Ukraine. The problem that we are now facing is that this is pulling in the United States. This is pulling in North Korea. This is pulling in China. And this nuclear war could turn into a world war. Now, I want to break down what's happening, what just went on today, what we've heard over the past several hours as well, how this could potentially impact us, and what this means moving forward. But all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So a lot of people are discussing a nuclear war, and Russia potentially using nuclear weapons and warheads to attack Ukraine, but Ukraine cannot use nuclear weapons to attack Russia. The main reason why is they don't have any. We have taken their nuclear weapons from them. Now, this is bringing in a whole new set of issues. Just look at this right here. China is warning of nuclear war risk in Ukraine. But why? Why is China warning of a nuclear war risk? Well, it's simple. It's because Russia continues to attack Ukraine. Russia is doing everything that they can to go and grab as much land from Ukraine as they possibly can before President-elect Donald Trump gets into office. Because everyone is anticipating that when Donald Trump becomes president on January 20th, 2025, he is going to, his plan and his team's plan, which he's already kind of put that into motion and explained it to people, is he just wants to give Russia the land that they've already occupied. Okay, give that to them so Ukraine would lose that. But then Ukraine would still get the support of the United States. Now, this is where things are getting interesting. Because at this time, Ukraine is just fighting to keep the lights on. Russia continues to hammer them. Hammer some of the bigger cities. Hammer some of their power plants. This is causing much of the country to go dark. But at the same time, people are now cold. They have no power. And in some places, they have no food. That's a huge, huge problem. Now, I want to read a little bit of this article right here. The reason why I want to read this is because it says something very clear here. And this is what I've been saying for some time. Just look at this right here. It says, China has renewed its warning over the potential use of nuclear weapons in the Russia-Ukraine war, in response to recent speculation about the possibility of the U.S. stationing them, this is nuclear weapons, in the embattled country to deter future Russian aggression. Yes, that has been discussed, that if the U.S. and the Biden administration just gives Ukraine nuclear weapons, Russia is going to have to think long and hard before they consider attacking Ukraine, because now Ukraine can actually fight for themselves. It doesn't need the United States. It doesn't need the UK. Ukraine can actually fight for themselves if they had the right weapons. Now, I talked about this just the other day. I know a lot of people probably missed it, but the White House is actually pushing Ukraine to change their mobilization age from age 25 for fighting age men down to age 18. One of the biggest issues that Ukraine and Russia once had was they did not have enough troops. Well, Ukraine still has that issue because the U.S. isn't sending troops to Ukraine. But Russia doesn't have that issue anymore because they partnered with North Korea. And North Korea is sending the troops. That's why they got more than 10,000 troops on the front line now, just because North Korea sent them. That's it. Now I want to keep reading this to you. It says China is paying close attention to the nuclear risk triggered by the Ukraine crisis and has reiterated time and again that nuclear weapons should not be used and nuclear war must not be fought. Keep in mind, a nuclear war would not help the rest of the world. A nuclear war could eliminate parts of Ukraine or Ukraine in its entirety, but it would also impact surrounding countries. If Ukraine were to go that same route again, it would really hurt Russia, but at the same time, what is the response going to look like? And are Russia's allies or Ukraine's allies going to step in? Again, this could lead to a world war. I want to read you one last thing. It says she'd been asked to respond to last week's New York Times report citing anonymous U.S. officials who floated returning nuclear weapons to Ukraine as part of discussions on deterring a third Russian invasion after an eventual negotiated ceasefire. Okay, so let me just put this out there. What these officials are currently discussing and what we've heard before is, even if President-elect Donald Trump decides, okay, you know what, we're going to give Russia the territories that they currently occupy. Let's give that to Russia. Russia pulls out of the rest of Ukraine, right? No more hitting Ukrainian cities. Okay, no more hitting the power plants, right? No more looking at bases, right? A lot of those things. Okay, so Russia does that. They pull out. Everything's fine. Here's the problem. Vladimir Putin has long been wanting to take over Ukraine. This isn't the first time it's happened, right? They've annexed other regions of Ukraine. So keep that in mind. So this isn't the first time it's happened, but experts are concerned and White House officials are concerned there will be an eventual third attack. But when does that come? It would likely come after the Trump administration is out of office. But this is why they're now discussing, well, during the Trump administration, once things settle down, let's give Ukraine back nuclear weapons. Let's give them nuclear weapons. Give them back to them. So now Ukraine can actually defend itself. Now, that would be a very risky thing to do, but they could do it. And if they do give nuclear weapons back to Ukraine, and Ukraine decides to use them against Russia to potentially go and get back the land that they've lost over the past several years, well, that's up to them. But Vladimir Putin has already said he would put this on the Biden administration or the Trump administration. He would blame the United States for doing this. China is kind of doing the same thing. That is why they are warning of this massive nuclear war risk in Ukraine. Now, here's the other thing. And this is kind of newer, but I want to show you this. Right now, there's a lot of speculation as to what is going on over in the other side of the world. But look at this right here. It says mystery drones are spotted over U.S. air bases in Britain. It says small unmanned craft were seen flying over 4 bases in England. The U.S. Air Force in Europe said. The Pentagon said that there had not been any significant mission impact. Okay. So what is happening? Well, I want to play this clip for you so that you kind of understand what's going on. But at the same time, keep in mind, we don't know where these drones are coming from. A lot of people are concerned that these drones are coming from Russia. Okay? That these drones are Russian drones. That what is happening is they are spying on us. They're looking to see where they can potentially attack us or what they have to contend with if they do attack Ukraine. So, let me play this for you.
The details are still very limited at this time. We do know that the sightings started last week on November 20th, and they have really ranged in size, in style, and also the amount that we've been seeing over that last week or so. Now, a senior British official confirmed to Fox that the UK has deployed about 60 troops, including counter-drone specialists, to help determine who is behind this and to help defend the air bases amid fears it's a potential coordinated operation.
One thing I just want to point out here really quick is they're saying it could potentially be a coordinated operation. Here's the other thing. If we are sending troops or we're sending military personnel, fighter jets, whatever, to the region and to try to figure out what's going on here, guess what? It takes that military personnel, the military equipment out of operation for that time while something else could be going on over here. That's part of the issue. And keep in mind, we've seen these tactics before. We've seen these tactics when it came to attacks from Iran on Israel as well. They send in a bunch of missiles and just to test and see how many missiles actually get through Israel's Iron Dome. Well, This is kind of the same thing, just to test and see how quickly there is a response. What is the response? And is that something that they can deal with? Let's keep listening.
They're describing the incidents as unusual and say this is a serious set of circumstances. Take a look at this map. The bases are spread across England and are all used by U.S. Air Force. Now, the drones have been seen over RAF Fairford, Lakenheath, Mildenhall and Feltwell. For now, civilian police, supported by the UK Ministry of Defence, have launched an investigation. And so far, we're told there has been no impact to residents or infrastructure, and they have not been identified as hostile. Well, a Ministry of Defence spokesperson said we take threats seriously and maintain robust measures at defense sites, but as of right now, it has not had any significant mission impact.
Okay. So this is not something new. We've seen this before. There's been several drones that fly over some of the bases here inside the United States as well, and yet we have no answers as to where they're coming from. Are they spying on us? Are they taking information back to a specific country? Right? We have no clue. All right, are they hobbyists? Based off the latest information, these are not hobbyists, just flying their drones over a U.S. Military base. That's not what it is. It's something a little more advanced, and that's the reason why experts are concerned. But you listen to the Pentagon, they say, no, we're okay. Hey, there's no concern at this time. But again, that's what they said about the hot air balloon that was going over the United States. That's what we've said about many different things. Potential cyber attacks where we have seen that they're already in the systems, and they come out and say, nope, we don't need to worry at this time. Well, the time that they come out and say, yep, we have to worry, guess what? It's too late. There's nothing you can do. Okay, you will be screwed. That's why they're coming out and saying that, nope, we don't need to worry at this time. It's true, we don't need to worry at this time because all they're doing is just gathering information, but what happens when they get that information and what do they do with it? That's the problem, because we don't know. We have absolutely no clue, but what we do know is that all these other countries are looking into the United States simply because of our involvement and sending additional equipment and money and personnel into Ukraine to potentially disrupt this war between Russia and Ukraine. So, we'll see what happens, but what we do know as this time is that China is warning of the risks associated with a nuclear war. So, as we get more information, I promise I'll give you all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.